From a basketball footwear perspective, 2025 just keeps getting better. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and breakdown on these potential bad boys right here. This is the Adidas Anthony Edwards 2, Anthony Edwards' second signature sneaker. And I gotta say, man, like these, the Ja 3s and the Angel Reese 1s, like those three sneakers, okay? Not only are they decent performers like the previous two, obviously I haven't played in these yet, but from just a visual perspective, they really feel like signature shoes. Like they look different than all the other crap out there on the market, and it's so refreshing. You know what I mean? It is so refreshing.
God damn it, that's good.
So yeah, I really like this. This is an interesting shoe too, because when you compare them, like, you know how like some people like try to be like, oh, like, is that an upgrade from the last one? And I would say no. Like I would say that the Ja 3 in comparison to the 1 and 2 is a huge upgrade. These, in comparison to the 1, feel like a true evolution. And that's how I like footwear. I like it to evolve from model to model. I like certain things carried over, and then things that I didn't love on the previous to be tweaked. And that's how these feel. These feel really good. I'm super stoked for these. This is awesome. I do question though, because when you line them up side by side, they're lower than the originals as far as high top is concerned, or like, you know, collar height. They are higher than the lows. So like, is this the only one? Is there gonna be an Anthony Edwards 2 low, or is this it? Because it's kind of like a hybrid, it's like a mid. I don't know. We'll see. But just in case you were wondering, this is the box. I actually really like the box. The box looks super dope, and then it's a little bit different. It's not a pull-out drawer box or anything like that. This one you open up, it says "Believe That" right there. So, you know, go ahead, take that to the bank. The shoes themselves, using a similar color scheme to the original launch colorway and stuff, I just think is a great move. This is something that I personally have loved in signature footwear that I feel like is missing in signature footwear: colorways. Yes, I am talking, when I do talk about colorways, a lot of the times about the team that the player belongs to, where I want to see a debut shoe or at least one colorway in a home and away look. You know what I'm saying? Like where you can tell that like, hey, I'm a Timberwolves fan. I want a shoe that represents my team. This doesn't do that. There's going to be a colorway coming up that we've already seen that does, so I'm stoked. I'm not a Timberwolves fan. I just like that. But I like the consistency within a line where, you know how like with the Jordan line, you always got like a black and red, a white and a red. We were consistent, and you could look forward to that almost every year. Sometimes they would switch things up, yes, but for the most part, it was consistent. Same thing with like LeBron's early line. Like you always got like colorways where you were just like, yo, I can't wait for that colorway to drop. Same thing with Kobe's, like the inlines. Like you were always excited for like the inline colorway to drop, the white and purples. Or the D Rose line, where you were always excited to see the next Brenda colorway. So I like that we are seeing consistency here. I think that it's good. Will they throw brand new colorways out there? I'm sure of it. The AE1 had a ton of colorways. So these, I'm pretty sure, are gonna do the same. Now, as for the shoe itself, these do things, or at least they feel like they do things so far a little bit better than the first one. Like I gotta say, first off, it's the weight. So here we have the AE1. Oh my goodness, that's pretty heavy. And then here is the Anthony Edwards 2. Woo, that's a lot lighter, bro. That's crazy. And even with them being a lot lighter, they're still pretty heavy. Like that's crazy, you know what I mean? They don't feel that way in hand or on foot, so that's a good thing. But in the grand scheme of other models out there, like this is definitely on the heavier side. But the traction is something that is similar but different. We still got herringbone on the bottom, but it's just done up in like kind of like a blade fashion, you know what I mean? Like it's broken up. It's gonna allow for a lot more flexibility, and I think that this is gonna be great. Do I think that this is going to be solid outside or outdoors? I don't think so. I think that much like the first one, like it's really soft, it's very thin, shallow, all that stuff. Durability in terms of outdoor use is probably like nothing, you know what I mean? So would I take this outside? Probably not. If outdoors is your only option, go for it. It's really up to you, it's your decision. I'm just saying that don't expect them to last too long. Now, one of the things that I disliked on the originals, especially on the lows, is the X plate that's in there, the spring plate. So this is the Anthony Edwards 1. It's flexible to a point up in the toe, but like basically from the ball of the foot back, it's super rigid and everything like that. This one still has the X plate in there, but it's modified. It's actually hollowed out. So that's kind of interesting. Like it's still full or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's weird. Like I like that they've done this. It almost reminds me of this insole right here. This is the insole by Aris. It's a carbon fiber like spring plate. This type of carbon fiber is what this brand actually manufactures for running shoes, like the Super Runners. And that's kind of what this TPU plate in here reminds me of, where it's broken up, it's thin, it's only where it needs to be. And so the flexibility is just way greater in this shoe than it is in than the first one. So that's something that makes the first one for me not as fun to play in, even though it's a really solid shoe, but like I don't like all of that restriction in the flex zones. And this one doesn't feel as restrictive, at least so far. Now, as far as cushion is concerned, they do still feature full length boost, much like the original. These feel a little bit lower to the ground. They feel kind of like thinner. I don't know if it's just from the upper construction being a little bit different. This midsole is not double lasted like the original. So where this is all one big piece, you know what I mean? Like the upper all the way down to the outsole. This one is broken up into its actual components. So that could also help with the flexibility, by the way. But either way, bouncing around on them just, you know, as a try on, they feel okay so far. I really want to reserve judgment until I start running around and breaking them in. But either way, the full length boost is still there. So if you like that on the first one, you should like that on the second one. As far as their insole is concerned, every time it's just like Adidas. Really? I will say that they try a lot with the upper and all the tech and all that stuff. So I suppose that this is passable. It's just laughable too. But if you wanted to take this insole out and swap it out for anything else that you'd like, feel free. They come with extra laces, much like the originals did. It's the same accent color. It's that kind of like pinkish look. So if you like that, there you go. Now the upper is where things really start to shift and evolve. So when I'm talking about evolution versus an upgrade, the upper is really where it's at. They are very visually similar, especially from a toe down view. When you look at these from the toe down, in comparison to the one, they almost look like the same shoe. You know what I mean? Like it's very, very similar. But they took off that like weird cover at the forefoot on those like very first eyelets, which I think is great because that was one of the things that I really didn't like. I could not adjust my laces all the way down at the forefoot, and now you can. On top of that, the entire upper isn't a you know, like rubberized TPU shell. Instead, it's only got components of that left over from the last model, and it almost like shed its skin. So now it's got all of the exposed textile and breathable mesh in there that was underneath this. It's not the same exact textile, but it's like the similar system. And now that's all exposed and everything like that. I was initially worried when we first saw like leaks of the shoe how this whole thing would feel. It just looks bulky and restrictive. Luckily on foot it does not feel like that. Like they move and flex just like the original. In fact, maybe even a little bit better. So again, nice little evolution there where you're taking components, carrying them over to the next model, but tweaking them in a way to making the next product better, but not too different. But yeah, you still have the rubber overlays. They're just in these two striped zones. There are more breathable mesh textiles underneath in the little like slats that are there. Really dope feature. It looks really cool on top of that, at least in my opinion. And plus it gives it a lot of wiggle room for accent colors and things like that, like that Timberwolves looking colorway. I just can't get over those. Those are so cool looking. And then the lacing is a little bit different than the original. So instead of just eyelets going, you know, through the upper, this one has something that we're all pretty much used to by now, which is the nylon strands. And then when you open it up, which I'm gonna have to show you on the phone because, you know, the big bulky camera does not like to focus on small little details. But when you look in there, you can see that the nylon cables go all the way down to the footbed. They don't come laced all the way up to the top, so there is an extra eyelet there, just in case you were wondering. Also, by the way, if you wanted to look inside the shoe, there you go. There's full length boost in there all the way down. You can see the sculpting and padding is awesome. Like this is dope. Oh, and yeah, the toe is still reflective, just like the original. Ooh. On the rear, you still have the faux carbon fiber. This is something that has been used on multiple Adidas models now, and it's, you know, again, carried over here. Whether you like that or not, feel free to leave a comment down below in the comment section. What it does though is stabilize the heel. It's actually on both sides. Instead of being a heel cup or counter, now it's two heel panels. So this is something that I think is really dope. I think it's just different. It works really well. It's really sturdy too. So yeah, there's like almost no flexibility or give back there. I don't feel like I have any heel flop or heel slip or any of that stuff. Like these feel awesome on foot. In terms of sizing, they fit just like the originals. They fit very true to size. You can actually feel this little toe piece pressing on the top of your toe and everything like that. If you didn't like that, then I'm sorry. That's just kind of how they fit. But if you ordered one size in the AE1s, that's exactly what I would order in the AE2s. Again, for me, I went true to size and they fit me perfectly. If they go with a low, it'll be interesting to see if there's any changes with that and all of that kind of stuff. But so far, true to size is what I would recommend. And with that being said, what is today's viewer submitted question of the day?
Okay, this question of the day is a build off from the Nike Book 1 AM Neons.
Okay.
So if anybody needs to go back over that, they can head over there after this video. The question is, I think you are on point in regard to people missing out on great shoes because they don't like the player. The LeBron 20s are my favorite of his line. I also think people miss out on good shoes if they are primarily marketed for females. What are your thoughts? Because the Sabrinas look pretty good, but I haven't haven't purchased a pair.
I think that's the same thing. I think that's like a semantics, because the female is the player. Whether you don't like LeBron because he's LeBron, or Anthony Edwards because he's Anthony Edwards, or you don't like Sabrina because she's a girl, you know what I mean?
I think that plays though into even just what Jordan Brand does when they make specific colorways, whether it's a full size run or just
all of a sudden an Air Jordan 4 that's a girl shoe. And I'm just like, since when?
Yeah.
So like, you know what I mean? But yes, and this is where like marketing plays tricks on people's minds. Marketing can really like mess with you. When you look at a Jordan 4, just because it's pink or whatever, does that mean that it's for girls? Like, of course it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Even if the brand says, oh yeah, this is a women's colorway, who cares, dude? If you like it, wear it. If it's in your size, wear it. Same thing with the Sabrinas. Like they, and all of these like women's WNBA player signature shoes, they're very specific, because I know that they kind of screwed themselves with the first ones where they did say like women's, and now they say unisex. So they're really clear about it. Like they're not trying to beat around the bush. They're like, no, this is a unisex shoe. And it goes all the way up into like huge sizes in men's. We've seen them at Ross. It's a little bit different now. The Asia ones were the same thing. Angel Reese ones are the same thing. I'm assuming the Caitlin Clark's will be the same thing. So, but like I said, if you don't like anything or anyone, and it stops you from getting something that is very good, then let it stop you, bro. Like, I don't care. It's the same thing as like, as far as like our mentality or my mentality on the reviews. Am I reviewing a shoe so that you go and buy it? No. I'm reviewing the shoes so that you know what the shoe is, to let you know if you're interested in buying it. Like, after you've heard all of this stuff, are you interested in buying these? Maybe the answer is yes. Maybe you're like, nah, that shit. I want to go with something different. Now you know. That's the whole thing. I don't care if you buy this or not. You know what I mean? I don't care if you buy whatever. Whatever works for you, go for it. If you want to deprive yourself of something dope, go for it. It doesn't bother me none. But yeah, there may be confusion, but I think that they're trying to stop that by literally listing them as unisex. And I think that the Sabrina 2s are awesome. I think the Sabrina 3s are awesome. Very similar shoes, but awesome nonetheless. But with all that being said, sound off below and let us know your thoughts if you have compounding thoughts on the previous topic. And additionally, are you excited for the Anthony Edwards 2? I already love these. I love these as soon as I saw them on his feet. That was the seal like that. Like, what do you call that? Like
the seal of approval.
Yes, the seal of approval was seeing them on his feet. It reminded me of back when we used to like watch MJ. When you see like the shoes on you, they're like, they're okay. You know what I mean? Like they're not as cool as when I see them on MJ. That's exactly how I felt here. Like when I put these on, I was like, do I look as cool as Anthony Edwards? No. But when he wears them, man, he looks cool. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the performance review in the coming weeks. And until next time, guys, y'all have a good one.